In this lesson, we're going to learn how to properly hold our flute. That means we're going to learn where to place our fingers on the correct keys. That's called the home keys. And we're going to learn how to hold our flute in proper playing position. First, we have to learn the proper hand position for holding the flute. Let's start by making hand puppets with both of our hands. Hello there, you want to learn how to hold a flute? Yes, I do! Now the hand puppet of your left hand is going to be talking to you. Hello. And your right hand puppet is going to be talking to someone across from you. Now when we actually go to hold our flute, we don't want our hands to be so flat like this. Make your hands more like a C shape. So we have left hand facing towards us, right hand facing away from us. Now we're going to learn where to place our fingers on the keys of the flute. As we learn this, we have to remember a very important concept called home keys. I'm going to be using this term a lot in our beginner lessons. Home keys means that every finger on both hands has a very specific spot, an exact key on the flute that each finger is in charge of. And when we learn which key to place our finger on, the finger never goes away from that key to play a different key. So sometimes our finger might be pressed down on its home key, other times it might be up for a different note, but we never move our fingers away from their home keys to play a different key. So let's learn the home keys for our left hand. On the bottom of the flute, where there's not a lot of keys, we have this long flat key right here. This is where your left hand thumb presses. Now turning the flute over to the top of the flute where we have all of our keys, we have this key right here. We actually are not going to press that key. That key never gets pressed. Our index finger goes on this key right here. So we have our thumb, skip a key, index finger. We're going to skip another key, skip this key, and go right to this key with your second finger. And then our third finger goes on that key right there. So let's review our left hand. Thumb on the long flat key, turning over, skip a key, index finger, skip a key, second finger, third finger. Our pinky goes on this side key right here. Now for your right hand on the flute, your thumb actually doesn't have a key that it presses down. Your thumb rests on the bottom of the flute to help support it. On the other side of the flute, it's pretty easy for your three fingers of your right hand. Your three fingers go 1, 2, 3 on the bottom three keys of the body. So our thumb is underneath supporting. Our first three fingers on top are going 1, 2, 3 on the bottom three keys of the body. Our pinky is in charge of this key right here, which is the first key of the foot joint. So let's review all of the home keys for our left and right hand. Left hand on top, we have our thumb on the long flat key on the back. Skip the first key. We have our first finger on this key. Skip one. Second finger on that key. The very next key is for our third finger. And our pinky is in charge of this side key. On the right hand, our thumb is placed right below here, not pressing any keys. And our 1, 2, 3 fingers just go 1, 2, 3 on the bottom three keys of the body. Our right hand pinky is in charge of this first key of the foot joint. So now that we've learned all of the home keys for both of our hands, we're going to learn how to hold the flute in playing position. Make sure you have all of your fingers on the correct home keys. Thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and both pinkies. Center the embouchure hole right in the center of your lips like we practiced on the head joint a few lessons ago. Now whether you're standing or sitting, make sure you're holding your head up and we're not bent down like this in a hunched down position. Stand or sit up nice and straight, nice and tall. And make sure the angle of your flute is going almost straight out towards the wall. We don't want to be too far down like this. We want to be nice and tall like this, straight out towards the wall. Now that we know where to place our fingers on the flute, that's called our home keys, and we know how to hold the flute in proper playing position, we're ready to get started learning our first note.